YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Tyrion here, and we are on the Eshin multiplayer map. This is going to be a match between myself and Wicked. Wicked is a longtime moderator and community supporter over my channel. He likes keeping an eye on the competitive multiplayer scene in Total War Warhammer, and he wanted to play a match with me during my stream, and I was happy to get him in. And you can see this one, I asked the audience to pick a faction for me, and so they picked me, the High Elves, and I was going up against the Greenskins led by Wicked. He has brought Grom the Paunch, and we will cover that army here in a moment. My army, I went with 3 lions, 3 spears, Tyrion, he does have his heals, and Sunfang, though if he does have Sunfang, I think I totally forget to use Sunfang in this entire battle. Yeah, I think I did. I don't know. Yeah, that's brilliant. Anyway, I'm foreshadowing a little bit there, but don't worry, I won't give away the ending. In any case, I've got a Star Dragon, and I've got a Mage of Life for some heals. And then as far as missiles, I put all my only missiles are in these Tyrion chariots. Tyrion chariots are a bit of a niche unit. They don't have AP damage, but they deal pretty good overall missile damage. They're pretty quick, and they're good against infantry in a pinch. They're a little more survivable than stuff like Illyrian Reaver archers, and again, better against infantry. And you can see here, I mean, when I put the shots into Grom, I mean, you can do some damage. Grom is not really something they're going to be able to easily kill because he's got too many hit points. But in any case, yeah, so I brought them to contend with Greenskin Light Cavalry, which there is here. We've got a couple of Forest Gobbo Spider Rider Archers, Wolf Rider Archer, and the Mangy Marauders, which do nice AP damage. Up front, there's Goblins, Night Gobbos. This is the unbreakable version. And then there are Orc Biggins backing them up for a little bit heavier hitting infantry. The High Elves either bring really elite infantry, which gets really expensive and leaves them with a tiny army, or they have to bring cheaper infantry, and in this case, the Greenskin infantry would do good against my cheaper infantry. Won't be too bad here overall, potentially. He's backing it up with Squig Herds, which is a really cheap, nice AP anti-infantry to combine with the cheaper infantry. And then he's got some Stone Trolls, which are a more expensive way of doing the same thing. He's going to use them for mass blocking, probably to help protect Grom. And Grom, of course, is a very good anti-infantry tool. And if High Elves pick a very traditional archer-heavy build, then Grom would be an excellent pick against it because he can just punch through the main line and really get all over the archers. And then at the same time, the light cavalry and trolls can attempt to do the same thing. So as the battle gets started, I do a couple of things, and I want to slow down and show this here. I take Tyrion in and use him to block several units because he's very tanky, and this was intentional because on my Life Mage, one of the spells I have is the Dwellers Below, and then I also made sure to try and target my White Lions into the Orc Biggins and save my Spearmen for his cheaper infantry, so I was trying to get good matchups for all my units. There goes, look at that, just absolutely destroy a Night Gobbo and another Goblin unit immediately there, so Tyrion ended up being very nice bait. I'm having a little trouble getting my Dragon out of action. He dove down, a really stupid move trying to hurt Grom, but of course Grom just slipped away like a greased pig, and we didn't get anything out of it. And then Wicked returns the favor with a Purple Sun, which does damage some of his own units a little, but it's definitely getting my White Lions over here. And then I've also got Spearmen back here, so we've both given each other a nasty Vortex spell, and with the combination of the Trolls here, the middle for me is going to break and leave Tyrion completely stuck, potentially in a blob. Grom came after my caster, so I'm going to bring the Star Dragon down to chase him off. He's not going to want to stick around for this, and he won't. But look at the Greenskin Light Cavalry sticking around, poisoning the dragon. This is going to make it really difficult for me to get away from Grom. But you can see Grom, instead of going back towards his own lines, is actually looking for more targets behind my lines. I get another Biggin tied up with the White Lion, and then over here, this White Lion is doing very well, getting a lot of kills. And again, see here, my chariots can double in. Oh, I do use Sunfang. I was wrong. Look at that. I foreshadowed incorrectly. There goes Sunfang and my chariots, and then I'm able to clean up this fight really quickly here. But, I mean, this is still a very tough brawl. I was outnumbered over 2-1 by the Greenskins, so I'm going to have to be very efficient Right now, I'm not being very efficient. My Star Dragon is stuck in this fight. I'm trying to get him out. The trolls are making it very difficult for me to get out, and there's Orc Biggins and Grom and everything in here. And then again, it's becoming very difficult to keep him out of the fight. My chariots are pushing back the light cavalry here and causing some damage, which is great. One of the Biggins that routed has come back. You can see here my White Lions are going to be able to finish off these Biggins. And then some of my routing units will eventually come back, like this spear unit here. I've got another one that's trying to come back over there, so I will have some units coming back, but Wicked's staying very focused on ruining my dragon, and honestly, that's a good call. I mean, the dragon is a ton of spin for me, and if he can take it out with relatively low losses, then it really cripples my ability to try and win this. You can see the power bar is actually a little bit in his favor at the moment. I'm going to take my spearmen and try and intercept these Biggins, and I'm going to keep these chariots rolling. I've managed to cause quite a bit of damage with them. There's still a lot of Greenskin light cavalry around, though, and they're going to come in and start picking at my dragon again, which continues to poison him. I'm getting desperate to save the dragon at this point, and I realize that I have not used the breath attacks on the dragon, which is a huge no-no on my part. If anything, I should have just kind of kept using the dragon to bait the light cavalry closer to my chariots. Could have set it up that way. I did not, and then kept the dragon, use all the breath attacks, and then tried to melee, because it's harder to get your value when you don't use those breath attacks. Star Dragon breath attacks are actually really good against single entities, so I decided to spin one up here on the Death Hag, but a very nice dodge means that I get almost nothing out of that one, so Wicked did a very good job there. I am again still struggling to get my dragon to any type of safe position. That's just not happening at the moment. Tyrion, meanwhile, is in the middle of a gigantic blob. I'm low on magic, and what magic I do have, it keeps being used to try and keep the dragon alive. I decided to dive bomb these wolf riders over here and see if I can get rid of them, but now there's more units coming, and I'm just going to have to be very careful here because my dragon is very near to death. Very near to death. So I use my chariots to clean up this Orc Biggin along with my mage, and Tyrion starts to get completely overwhelmed in here, and it drops his leadership, which is difficult to do. He is not an easy unit to rout. But in this kind of fight, he's in trouble. Now, I have to admit, the White Lions are really holding tough in this fight and doing pretty darn well. This is one of the niches where I feel like the White Lion can be used. They have a little bit of missile resistance against Greenskin light cavalry. They do nice armor-piercing damage. They wouldn't go up against a Black Orc, but they can take most everything else from the Greenskins, so they've done a good job for me here. But Tyrion routs all of a sudden. I do come in for another breath attack. This time it's a little more effective. You can see Spirit Leech coming up here on Tyrion. Wicked's going all in to get rid of Tyrion, but that actually triggers his healing. And now he gets over 3,000 hit points back. He is routing, and he got a really nice parting shot there on him with those stone trolls. But I am going to get Tyrion back with some hit points. And then all of a sudden the dragon terrifies some of the stone trolls, but then the dragon routs in the face of Grom. So it is back and forth here, though the power bar is more in my favor now because of the healing of Tyrion. However, I'm still struggling to do anything useful with the dragon. In fact, it looks like I may not get the dragon back at this point. So it is a difficult position for the dragon. So I'm going to pull Tyrion off. I don't want to take this engagement. I see the River Troll Hag routing. It's like, all right, let's see if we can get the Hag off of the battlefield. Yep, the dragon's dead. No more dragon. Some of my White Lions get caught here, and I'm able to catch up to the River Troll Hag, which is healing, by the way. It's another reason why I wanted to get this unit. It had a lot more heals to go through. Way too dangerous for me to allow that unit to come back. Grom and these stone trolls are going to be difficult to kill. Like, it is not going to be easy. I don't know if those units are healing or not. They are healing, yeah. So those troll units are healing. My Tyrion chariots are running low on ammunition, but they still will be good at potentially holding off the light cavalry. There's not much infantry left for them, but they've done a really spectacular job, so they ended up being a very nice pick for me here. They're a little more versatile than a lion chariot or an Theomar chariot. They're not as good in melee as either one of those, but the versatility of being quick. Look at this, very nice trap with the Forest Spider Eye Charge. So Tyrion gets trapped again. I unleashed his Sung Fang to try and get a little bit, but it was aimed kind of improperly. And so I'm going to have to rush some support, but I've really just got nothing And so in a last-ditch effort, I throw down a Dwellers Below. I don't know how it's going to perform against the trolls, but I just need something to cause damage. And it does. It starts doing quite a bit of damage to the trolls, and it's going to force a bit of a retreat there from Wicked, and it does manage to save Tyrion for me. I was very lucky, so I decided to go ahead and charge over with other units. I've got to tie down his trolls. You can see he is just kind of persistently avoiding my infantry and really trying to kill Tyrion. And that makes sense. That's what he should do, because Tyrion is the threat here. In fact, I just gave Tyrion more heals, and this is helping to push the power bar for me. But my magic, of course, is very, very low at this point. I don't know how much, if anything else, is coming, so I have to use what I can when I can. And essentially, I need to pin his units down, which the only way I can really do that is with my chariots, but if I don't time it properly, he's just going to crump my life mage and hurt the power bar really bad. So I'm in a bit of a delicate situation here because I do have some speed, but I am barely staying in front of these stone trolls and Grom. Like, it is getting very difficult for me to stay ahead of them with any unit, really, for that matter. So my infantry's coming down the hill. And again, I'm going to try and use Tyrion and the chariots to bait him into my infantry and give him no option. So I do go ahead and charge here, but I can't hold him. So he does good damage and then wants to pull away. And I have to be careful. So see, I kind of offer up Tyrion and my mage to get his attention. And then this little Gabo shaman here, he was being used as a power battery, basically, for the winds of magic. Look how quickly he went through those Tyrion chariots with that armor piercing. Yeah, see, now you can kind of tell why I have to be so careful. So I go ahead and charge in Tyrion. My infantry's close. It's like, all right, this is going to be risky, but let's try and fight. I pull him out, try and bring the infantry in. Wicked's still not wanting this fight, and I don't blame him. He needs to get the right fight here. He wants to pull this off, so he brings Grom over. Grom trying to roll through some of my infantry and get some more kills. He has gotten a lot of kills, and he's gotten some pretty solid value. And these trolls are going to try and crump through my spears and get out of here. So I'm going to bring over my heroes and hit them from behind. Hurts their leadership pretty good. But again, they're trying to bust free and stay on the move. So I'm going to use a chariot to try and pin them down momentarily and keep catching my units up. Obviously, the Greenskins don't want to stick around for the show. They're healing. You know, the more he can avoid combat, he can get closer to his heal caps and potentially help turn the power bar. So that's why you're going to see a lot of hit and fade here from the Greenskins. But I think they kind of get stuck a little here for a moment, and I'm able to bring quite a bit of pressure to bear. And if he pulls away, it's going to hurt the leadership pretty bad. But if he turns around and fights, it'll probably be, you know, overwhelming force on my part. So it's starting to put him in a tough predicament here on kind of which way to go and how to play this. So the spearmen arrive. This is going to be a good value for me here into the stone trolls. They'll do some nice anti-large damage. Tyrion's in here doing some good damage. Grom is still pretty healthy, and I need to get some attacks in on him, bring his hit points down. You can see all of my infantry's engaged, so I think we've got the trolls locked in, and they're starting to waver, so this is looking pretty good for me, because without that troll support, Grom should finally be able to be KO'd. He is tricky to pin down and kill, as he's pretty quick, and he has some abilities that can give him a lot of damage resistance over a short haul as well. And I finally managed to get a victory here, but it was a hard-fought victory and a very fun battle with Wicked. I appreciated him dropping by. I had a lot of fun in this one. But yeah, Grom did very well there. 102 kills, 2166 value. The River Troll Hag did pretty good there at 1650, though I did manage to get her out a little earlier. And then the Stone Trolls were performing very well. These guys had quite a few hit points left. Whenever they kind of leadership routed at the end, they did a very nice job. The Light Cavalry didn't pick up a ton of value, but really credit these guys with getting rid of a Star Dragon. And my Star Dragon here, you can see, cost 2,200, only got 1,619. And I was lucky to have gotten that, honestly, because I did a pretty poor job managing it, and Wicked did a very good job harassing it. So between that combination, you know, it is a very, very tough for me. My Mage did a good job here, 1853 on value. Tyrion at 2637. Tyrion chariots all pulled in, you know, not amazing value, but they were doing decent. They were alive to the end. Pretty good work from my White Lions. The Spearmen, of course, they're the cheapest, so their value is really not bad overall, all things considered. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll have some more battles for you soon, and I will see you then.